Big thanks to Super7 for sending this out. Check them out and links to buy in the description.
Horror, kaiju, Dragon Ball, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, Collector Steven here, and welcome to another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle review, where today we're going to be taking a look at a variant of Super7's Ultimate Muckman and Joe Eyeball. Today we're going to be taking a look at the glow-in-the-dark variant. This one was available at New York Comic Con, the bodega event that Super7 had, and now it's available online and will soon be available at select retail outlets. So if you are thinking about picking this one up, don't worry, you don't have to go to NYCC to exactly get this. You do have the availability to pick it up now, though limited amounts left. Make sure you don't delay. So Muckman now glows. About time, because that radioactivity got to him, all the mutagen and stuff. Now he's at critical mass. Well, is he going to be able to work well on your shelf, or should you stay away from this toxic disaster? Let's take a look to see whether or not this glowy boy is going to be worth adding into your collection. First and foremost, let's talk about the box. Now, as you know, the box is not the product. Super7 does do a great job with their Ultimates lineup for their packaging, but here they did glow-in-the-dark packaging. Pretty cool. Now, it's not as strong as you can clearly see the figure, but it is neat to see that the front and the back of the box has some glow-in-the-dark accoutrement to it. Now, figure time. Let's go ahead and take a look at Muckman proper. And I'm going to do things a little bit different here because we're going to transition from Muckman to Joe Eyeball. All right. So first and foremost, for Muckman, we're going to have the normal picture right up there on front, and then we're going to switch on over to the glow-in-the-dark, just so this way we can do a one-to-one comparison. No 360 spin view for this one. Why? I have a white background, and this one's off-white, if you will. But that means that the glow-in-the-dark effect is really, really strong. I cannot stress that enough, as you've already seen. The details, the sculpted details are kind of lost on Muckman, most particularly for the quote-unquote skin, but for everything else, the different parts on him, like the spiders, and then we have the fish bones and so forth, and the banana, all different colors from the original release, which you will see. Those actually stand out pretty well, and I do think that they are better quality than the original release as well. Obviously, the glow-in-the-dark features are going to be the most important part for this particular release, so that is definitely something you're going to want to keep in mind. The teddy bear, parts of that one glow, we have the spiders, that's all cool, and the neon change to the jumpsuit, as well as some of the items stuck to his feet. Those look really nice as well. I do know they have glow-in-the-dark paint options. It would have been cool if on the labels they were able to get that as well. Now, Joe Eyeball, which, hey, pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot of paint application here. We do have the veins in the eyes, and that all looks good. And we do have the pink mouth. So, cool. Joe Eyeball is going to be glowing just fine as well. Muckman does also come with the trash can on the back, so this way Joe Eyeball can fit in there, no problem. You've seen that in the action shots as well. And not only is that going to glow with all of the goop coming out of the top of it, but also the inside is completely glow-in-the-dark, which means that the actual garbage can is painted on there. And it looks fine. No real issues regarding paint. For accessories, Muckman obviously is going to come with the garbage can and Joe Eyeball, but he's also going to come with alternate left and right hand parts. Okay, so for the right hand, which plugs in on a peg and hinges and swivels like normal, we're going to get one hand where he's stringing along his goop, which looks pretty cool. And then for the left hand with that bone forearm, which there's actually going to be a peg that comes out of the arm and plugs into the hand, and it hinges and swivels that way. That one is a bit more, he's got like a handful of goop and he's getting ready to throw it at someone. The other prominent accessory that he's going to come with is going to be his muck gun. So if you're looking to pick that up, then cool. Paint application also matches the new neon theme for this particular figure. So we talked about the figure, sculpt, paint, and accessories. Let's take a look at articulation. And I think I'm going to say we're going to look at articulation, right? So being a repaint or a recast, I would say, Muckman's articulation is going to be identical to the original release for some who love it, some don't. But let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Joe Eyeball. So we're going to have just basic swivels for the shoulders so we can spin the arms around. Very easy to do, not a whole lot of movement there. And then the head seems to be on a ball joint. I have slight rocking movement, but then also spin around. Okay, that's it. We're good to go there. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the big guy proper here, Muckman. So head is going to plug in on a ball joint. We can twist and turn and spin around and all that fun stuff. And then that was going to actually be something I would talk about next. The banana peel hat, brain cover there, skull, that does pop off. So something to keep in mind. Shoulders, plug in on a peg so we can spin them all the way around, right? And then they hinge out to the side with that much of movement for a T-pose. No dedicated bicep swivel, but we do have single hinge elbows, which plug into the bicep, and they do give us effective bicep swivel movement. The right arm does like to move a little better than the left arm, but that's mostly because he's got all of his fleshy bits there and none of the orange jumpsuit that he still had. We do have a waist swivel, allow you to spin all the way around. Real easy. Hips, swivel hinge combo, so they swivel on out to the front and back, and then they hinge on out to the side about, well, this one's kind of not really stuck on mine. Don't forget the dedicated thigh swivel, so we can spin the leg around like so. Single hinge knees, that much range of movement, which also peg in for a swivel. And then on both feet, we do have hinge to allow the foot move forward and back, and then ankle rocker movement. Because of the giant sewer lid here, that tends to weigh this leg down a bit, and that does cause a little bit of a stanky leg there, as you can see. I think that is also because this is kind of smooth, so you can very easily get him to slide on that. So I think that contributes to some of the looseness with the figure that some folks have had with the legs. Otherwise, I mean, the articulation is fine. You can get him into some fun poses. It's serviceable enough for Muckman to be all icky and gooey. Yeah. Size comparison time. Like I said, repaint pretty much of the original release, so as you can see, he will be exactly, or they, because there's two, will be the same size as their original release counterparts. Now a side-by-side comparison, so this way you can see where the differences are with this release and the standard retail. Kind of night and day difference when it comes to the paint, and you would think that the orange jumpsuit would be the same. Looks pretty close, but the glow-in-the-dark one is significantly more neon than the original retail release. So we've taken a look at Muckman here. Now here's a look at Joe Eyeball. Pretty much, you know, same night and day difference. It's very interesting because there's really not a whole lot of paint on the glow-in-the-dark Joe. And then here's going to be the garbage can because I think that's pretty essential as well. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. I always thought a giant Muckman would be pretty cool. Might be something fun for Godzilla to fight. Anyway, for the original release, I was kind of lukewarm. Actually, for the whole wave, I was kind of lukewarm. But here, I think this is a pretty neat release. And this is definitely, it's going to be something that's going to really entice those who are interested in variants. I like it. I think it's cool. I cannot stress this enough. The glow-in-the-dark effect is really strong. For all the pictures, I used a 30-second exposure time. So, yeah. All of the pictures I pretty much cranked, so this way we were able to get the most glow effect possible. It's a fun release. If you like Muckman, if you like glow-in-the-dark stuff, this is an easy win.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.